At the present moment in Chile, there's not much knowledge nor awareness about Rastafari religion. If dreadlocks, marijuana, and reggae comes to your mind when you think of Rastafaris, we hope that with this documentary, we erase those social prejudices and enlighten you with the true philosophy of Rastafari life. To commence, we first must ask ourselves, what is Rastafarianism? To be a Rastafari is to be part of a movement. This religion also is very political and focuses on ending slavery, racism, and oppression of black people. In the 1930s in Jamaica, to be exact, a man named Haile Selassie became the representative of Jah. That is the name of their god. He created union between the masses and promoted love and peace when white supremacy was in power. Harvey was basically a prophet and continues to be the source of inspiration amongst Rastafaris to adopt such ideology for their culture.
This community rejects homosexuality because they consider it as unnatural, as well as abortion and the use of contraceptives. They do not participate in politics because they think the man should be free, nor do they believe in death.
But what are people's opinion about Rastafarians?
I think it is a very valuable culture. I don't like that people see it as a style.
They are like normal people, just have a different lifestyle. I think they are more liberal comparing to our restricted lifestyle, and I don't think they are so different.
I think it's a different lifestyle and it's interesting. I don't think it's correct when people criticize it for being different.
I don't know much about Rastafarians. I know that they live their own lives and have different ways of being. I have always wondered why, but they are not bad. Everyone has to accept different realities, and I don't think they hurt society.
I also think it's a valuable culture. I don't agree with it. I think it should be studied. In that way people can accept it and not only appearance.
I don't know much about them. I know that they smoke marijuana and are chauvinist.
I have seen them. They dress differently, have a different hairstyle. They like it that way. We see them as a fashion preference. They are a different race.
They are not bad people, but I don't like how they dress nor hairstyle. I see them as dirty. It doesn't bother me. It's just different. Well, I don't like it, but I don't discriminate them. I accept them like everyone in the society.
They are good people. Do you think they have a bad influence in society? No, I'm not sure.
Now that we watch the views of people, we are going to introduce you some relevant information about Rastafarians. Let's start with history.
The history of Rastafari begins with the colonization of Africa, or Ethiopia, as it is known to believers, by Europeans. The European power took many Africans as slaves, and the people of Africa were divided up and sent into exile as captives throughout the world. The areas of captivity became known as Babylon. For Africans, this exile marked the suppression of their culture by whites. However, Rastafarians believe that the suppression of blacks is ending, and that soon they will all return to their homeland, Ethiopia. The Rastafari movement began in Jamaica during the 1930s, following a prophecy made by Marcus Garvey, a black political leader. Garvey led an organization known as the Universal Negro Improvement Association, whose intention was to unify blacks with their land of origin.
When we are talking about Rastafarian, we are talking about religion, and they accept that their religion is a union between Judaism and Christianity. with a political origin, which principal characteristic is not accept the values imposed by the dominant ideology. They propose that the name of the Rastafarian god is Jah, who is represented by Haile Selassie, Black Emperor of Ethiopia. They believe and read the Bible constantly, and they also believe in the Holy Trinity, which is Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Now, what about Rastafarians types? It is true that doesn't exist only one type of Rastafarian. It is for this reason that I will present you the three most significant types. First, Nyambingi, the first foundation, is the divine force of truth and virtue. The second one is Bobo Ashanti, probably the most extremist type. The majority lives in community and they often carry out rituals. They also wear turbans in the head and long sweat. They believe in the inferiority of women. A perfect example is when they are with her menstrual period, which is considered impure. It's for this reason that they must move away from the groups. And the last one, 12 tribes. They reject any type of racism and invite to participate of the Rastafarian movement. They propose that the biblical education is the way for liberation. Now let's see the Rastafarian flag, which is represented by three colors. First, green, which symbolizes the vegetation. Then, yellow, refers to the prosperity that Africa offers. And the last one, red, that represents the martyr's blood.
An important aspect to consider is their daily life. Rastafarians have a particular way of living regarding their diet, giving a great importance to not eat any foodstuff that has relation with artificial additives. This diet is called the ITAL diet, which means being pure and natural. For example, they avoid alcoholic drinks, tobacco, coffee, and so on. In addition, they abstain themselves from eat meat for the reason to not keep death within them. Eat pork is strictly forbidden for Rastafarians because they see this animal as one that cleans the Mother Earth. Basically, this thought comes under the idea to not eat anything that have eyes. But what about marijuana? Why do Rastafarians use it? In Chile, we tend to associate marijuana with Rastafarians as a recreational activity. Nowadays, in many countries of the world, marijuana is punished by the law. But what's the real meaning of marijuana in Rastafarians' life? For Rastafarians, marijuana is concerned as an herb of religious importance. Why? Because it's used as an element to connect their souls with Jah, involving meditation in community, reaching a closer relation with I and Jah, which means that Jah is inside of us. Rastafarians are also recognized by the way they look their hair, with dreadlocks. The origin of this is from Ethiopia's tribe, which tries to represent the difference between the curly hair of Africans and the straight hair of white people. Going to another relevant point in the Rastafarians' religion is their music. We used to think that reggae music is part of this, but that's totally wrong understanding. The traditional music of Rastafarians is Nyabingi. Nyabingi it is used in ceremony sessions with the community and consists in religious songs and drumming to intensify their sense spiritually. The drumming sounds are closely related with the African cultures, like Wasburu music. This type of music was sung by African slaves to keep their spirits up whilst working.
Unfortunately, the Rastafarian community in Tirte wouldn't allow us to pass for the women were going through their moon period. This is just an example of how strict they are on their ways. However, a man named Sergio was able to speak with us about his experience as a Rastafari.
What do you think of the stigmas people have on your culture, your movement, and your religion?
Usually, the stigma of the people that have dreadlocks are drugs addicts or lazies. But the truth is we all work together. Someone farm and others in ordinary jobs. The fact that we smoke marijuana, people think we smoke it excessively, and that we don't have culture. They smoke in a neighborhood, that where they have reunions. In community, they make decisions. Everyone lives under the same rules. We usually rent our places to make money. During our gatherings, we smoke, but we never smoke in the street. You will never see us smoking on the street, nor in front of children. We are very precocious in that way. We do it in our homes.
How do you define yourself as a member of the Rastafari community?
I define myself as a hard-working man. I like nature. I always speak with the truth.
What is the role of women and men within community?
Women are never viewed as anything less than men. They walk side by side. These two people are equal in every way.
What is your point of view about marriage and sexuality?
Marriage depends on the person. For us, marry means much more than a document. We value the proposal of marriage. We give it a meaning and to overcome the community in mutual respect.
What is the relationship between dreadlocks and Rastafarians?
We use dreadlocks to be different from society, to have our own belief system. We are all equal in society, but we prefer to escape society's social stratification and to use a different hairstyle. Also, the way we dress has a meaning. For children, they begin to use dreadlocks at a certain age. It is all a process.
What is the relationship between education and your religion?
There is not much of a connection. No Rastafarian children attend to school. They are taught at home. We take charge of the thought of our own children.
So, during this episode, we have seen many perspectives, opinions about what is to be really Rastafarian. Thanks to social media, we have created a very basic knowledge about what is to be one. For example, having dreadlocks clearly is one. Other examples is to live in Jamaica. And the most common is like they auto-proclaim as a Rastafarian as an excuse to smoke weed. Even though this is not always true, we know that social media manipulates the information and creates whatever they want to us to believe. As I was saying, being Rastafarian is more than having a special hairstyle or having special clothes. It's a way how you see and experience the world. So it's more than a religion. It's a lifestyle that we are not aware of because we have only a basic knowledge. So as a conclusion and reflection, we could say that it's not always judge a book by its cover. That we have to make our perspective of things. That the magazines and news is not always the truth. So we have to look beyond that.